No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. We're going all the way so you can score more for your trade-in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV today. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
It's time for the Postgame Show from Bronco Nation News. We're breaking down the game with highlights, interviews, analysis, and most importantly, you. Give your thoughts on the game in the YouTube chat or Facebook comments, and we'll include the best ones on the show. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Postgame Show from Bronco Nation News.
Yes, we are live. Good afternoon, Boise State fans. Welcome on into the ICCU Postgame Show. We're here live at the James Kitchen and Bar. We got Kent Riddle. We got Brad Bedell having some fun here at the James after Boise State wins it on Senior Day, 34-18. They finished the regular season 11-1, and now it sets up the big-time championship game with a spot in the CFP and maybe a bye on the line next week. And we'll get to that obviously here in a little bit. But guys, beautiful day, a little cold, but nice sunny day. Great weather. Senior Day, 21 seniors honored. Genty goes for over 200 yards again, and Boise State wins their 10th game in a row.
Yeah, it was awesome. Bronco Nation showed out today. It was loud. How many penalties? I think four.
That first drive, they had two false starts right away.
Punt too. I always love that. I think everybody coaching-wise tries to tell their guys, like, it's going to be loud, and the players like, yeah, it's like 35,000, like, whatever. And they get out there and they're like, I can't hear anything.
Yep.
Yeah. So
end up being the fifth largest crowd in the history of Albertsons Stadium, 37,000. Awesome. And for a 10 a.m. game, like, that place was rocking right from the start.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. I mean, first of all, congratulations to the seniors. If you can believe it.
Yeah, really cool to see all those guys run out there.
And some of these young men were a part all the way back when I was here. Ben Dooley, congratulations.
Like
Cardona, congratulations.
They might have run out there 3 times.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? It's always something special. Senior Day on the blue, and congratulations to them. All the credit in the world. And two, it's a good win. And I said this on Wednesday. Yeah, I said this on Wednesday.
Never in danger.
Win's a win right now because I was wrong. Remember, I played 2-3 weeks like style point. I'm wrong because the CFP doesn't care about style points right now. And a win's a win. And I know we'll get that later.
They probably will at some point. But to me, this kind of was a style point win.
I agree.
They blew them out. I mean, I know the score's like 16 or whatever.
Didn't cover the spread technically, but yeah, it was close.
It didn't hit the over either. A buddy of mine let me know that.
But I mean, they're up 14-0 in this game, looking like it's about to be 21-0.
Right.
Genty does fumble. He's holding it in his left arm, where the brace either was or wasn't. He might have taken it off today. I didn't see much on the left arm, which is a good sign. But fumbles, 83-yard touchdown the other way. All of a sudden, it's like, it's 14-7, and they get the ball to start the third quarter. But how about the offense? That drive right before the half, coming down, Madson 5 of 6 on that drive.
Right.
They get the touchdown, 21-7 at half. It's a lot different than 14-7.
That was absolutely totally different. But I mean, I felt like Boise State dominated the game. I mean, it wasn't ever like
it did feel like the margin should have been bigger than the final score was.
Well, I mean,
and to some point, I don't think the Broncos are like worried about.
I'll tell you this right now.
A whole bunch of stuff other than winning the game.
I agree with you, but the young man for Oregon State takes it. They score. Some butts puckered. I mean, let's. I mean,
well, yeah.
No, but they're playing from the lead, which is a nuance. Going into half, the past 2 weeks they've been down, and not down.
Or tied,
and then
but 2 games in a row they had to play from behind.
Play from behind. You're right. And so I think there's an advantage. They started faster this week and things like that, but it's almost like now it's like. They're an explosive play. They're giving up an explosive play to lead to a touchdown, and it's just tightening the game when it doesn't need to be tight. And in this game, in my opinion, I don't think Oregon State's a very good football team. They're not very good. They're about as good as Oklahoma State, maybe.
Beat Washington State?
Terrible.
Oh, no, they're way better than Oklahoma
Washington State lost to New Mexico, and New Mexico's ass. Right? So I think
New Mexico's scoring 45 a game, just so you know.
They're not good. What's their record?
I think they have a chance to make a bowl game.
Stop the presses. Dude, just set the parade right now, right down Albuquerque main way. They're not. I mean, I just don't. And I know Red's a proud alum, but
they were playing for something today. They were trying to get to a bowl game. They were playing for something today. Oregon State coming in 5-6, and they're not. Yeah, they're not now. No, they finished 5-7. But I mean, early on, like they had a little momentum, and then to start the third quarter, Boise State gets that 3 and out right away too, and was able to extend it.
And I do think Oregon State had the right game plan: is shots, hand the ball off, shot. They tried to attack the passing game.
They went max protection shots.
Agreed. And they gave up
empty.
Right.
Tried to take a few shots.
They had another.
The worst thing they did was, go empty and throw hitches. That was literally like the worst thing they did.
A stop route on 3rd and 17. What are we doing?
They were 3 of 13 on 3rd down. They were only 1 of 5 on 4th down. So those money downs, Boise State's defense.
That's not going to win you a football game. It's not against a quality opponent.
And Boise State was much better on 3rd and 4th down this week.
I agree.
Yep. Yeah, they were 8 of 15 on offense and 2 of 3 on 4th down on offense as well.
I'm sure that was a huge emphasis for them coming off of last week, and they fixed it. So, nothing's ever going to be perfect.
Yeah.
The first time you do it, fix it up. Move on. Let's go.
The theme go ahead.
I do think they played better this week than the past 2 weeks.
Oh, I agree.
I think Boise State played better. I think you feel better about an overall win offensively, defensively, and special teams coming off of this week than you have the past 2 weeks, in my opinion.
5 of 6 in the red zone, but did have to settle for some field goals down there, though. It's some, You'd like to see
well aware.
What was the total?
Turnover. Yeah. And a turnover. 58 and a half.
58 and a half. Okay. And what did it finish at? 44, 50, 52. Okay. 2 field goals would have been
so
50, cool. 61. Yeah.
And that's a winner chicken dinner for my friend.
Of course. Yeah. Boise State, the defense though gives up 18, but 6 tackles for loss. Did have 2 sacks again. Overall, and they were, I thought the defense, again, gave up some passing plays at times. They only finished, though, with 226 passing yards, 342 yards for Oregon State. I mean, overall, I thought the defense
give up passing yards.
Yep,
because the corners are out there on an island. We're going to stop all the stuff over the middle and stop the run.
The corners haven't. Yeah, the corners played better. The corners have not played great. I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick, but even Spencer said it. Like that position needs to step up, and I thought they did today.
Oh, I mean, if you're looking at the defense, certainly the pass defense, and in particular the corners is an easy area to look at.
At one point, and I don't know when it was, at one point it was Boise State had 24 first downs. Oregon State had 6.
Yeah.
The first quarter, I have my notes here. I'll get them on my back. But the first quarter, I think they had 2 3-and-outs. Yeah. Boise State had over 11 minutes time of possession in the first quarter. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better start for Boise State tonight.
No, I agree with you 100%. Yeah. And especially on a 10 a.m. kick, that's what you need. Just end the game. Just step on their throat, snap it, and move on. And that's what they did.
Ashton Jeanty, 226 yards and a touchdown. Travis Hunter, unfortunately, had 3 touchdowns and an interception. I think most, I would say realistic Boise State fans probably knew that it was going to be an uphill battle anyway coming into today. Whether it was over or not, I mean, you could make your thing. But today, unfortunately, great game for Genty, but Hunter did his thing as well today. So,
do you want to say it, or do you want me to say it?
Would you like to know the last, literally, it won't matter here other than the Boise State fans, but Colorado, we had the
advantage.
Thank you. Yeah,
we got to watch both games.
Ability to watch both games.
We get it. You're blessed. You're in a box. Okay, we get it. You're blessed. You're cool.
Shout out to Lithia Ford. I want to really shout out Jim Sturk with Lithia Ford.
Absolutely. But Travis Hunter, they couldn't have tried to throw him the ball anymore. I don't think they knew they were going to win the game. Oklahoma State's terrible.
Yep.
Horrible.
45-0, and they still were throwing him a touchdown.
Brad and I had the opportunity to see them play a couple weeks ago at TCU, and they are awful. And they, whether it's
they're Connecticut 17 awful.
Yeah, whatever their issues are, they have them. But at 45-0, they were literally trying to get Travis Hunter.
There's no doubt. And to boot,
So for all the people that are on, hey, Ashton Jeanty, they're feeding him. They're giving too many carries, trying to pad his stats. Like nothing like I saw.
Shut up. Stop saying that. That's one.
They literally were throwing him the ball, trying to get him as many touch. They tried to give him a touchdown pass.
Rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
He had a pick, and the pick is
right to him.
Horrible.
Yes.
It's the worst throw I've seen in the better part of a year. But hold on. Ashton Jeanty really should have went for 260 because there was some flat out BS holding.
300.
Yeah.
BS holding. Yep. There's a couple comments in there.
They were absolutely atrocious.
Yep. Took a touchdown off the board on one of them.
It was a joke. I mean, trust me, I don't think holding all that, but they were bad flags in my opinion. And it cost them at least close to 300 yards.
Could you call holding on every play though? Probably if you wanted to. Or?
Yeah. But I mean, Prince let go on the perimeter run. Prince let go. Did it impede a hair? Maybe, but you have to impede significantly to impede the guy from making the tackle. That didn't happen. It was a BS call. I'm sorry, it was.
And I will say this. Somebody says Mountain West referees are the worst referees I've seen. This was actually a Pac-12 officiating crew today because this was part of the original home and home they had with Pac-12 way back when.
Dog crap.
Or the opposing team.
So all this Pac-12, like how many games did the Pac-12 guys do this year then?
I would assume they did all their home games. I mean, they have crew. There's a couple Pac-12 crews.
I'm saying the Pac-12 crews are Oregon State, Washington State?
I guess there's only a couple of them. And they maybe do some other, but this is a long time Pac-12 crew. I would say they've done Pac-12 in previous years too.
Well, they've had such a great reputation.
All these guys, Pac-12 Mountain, like they all do the same game.
Yeah. I guess I'm saying they're not out to. I never think, they're out to get them or whatever. And by the way, on a fourth down, maybe you guys can explain this. When you're measuring, there was that really close fourth down they gave
in
Boise
the first
State.
Quarter.
Yes, but they showed a picture where the stick itself was in front of the ball. It's not the stick; it's the last chain, right? It's the link. So the ball was across the link. All the Oregon State fans were saying, the home cooking, all this. I'm like, yes, the pylon or whatever they call it, the stick was. The ball did not reach the stick, but the line is actually further back.
The ball is touching slightly the pole that's holding the chain. It's a first down.
Okay. I think it's actually like the last chain link. Or
I've seen teams they put a card out, and if the card goes through, it's not a first down.
Yeah.
If the card stops, because it's the chain, the link that attached to the pole, first down. It's
because that picture was circulating all over social media.
Oregon State, shut up.
Maddox Madson, guys, he didn't have a great game last week.
He's on fire
he admitted it, and I mean the completion percentage today, is 52% when you look at it from that standpoint. But some of the throws he made, I mentioned that big drive before the half. He was 5 of 6 on that drive. There were some easy drops, I thought too. Cam Camper dropped a touchdown, maybe one, maybe two. Yeah. Austin Bolt, I think, dropped the one. I mean,
he got smoked. I mean, that was a tough.
Yeah,
I mean, he got.
I just think 17 of 33 is not indicative of how Maddox Madson played today.
Played his ass off.
Third down, I think he was efficient.
And scrambled, converted
couple first downs.
Yeah,
37 rushing yards on 8 carries.
That guy was awesome today.
I thought he was really good. I thought, drop balls one. He airmailed a few, but the other thing is like he was under some pressure today a little bit. He got hit a little bit, and they blitzed. I thought zero a couple times that we talked about. And not to mention for everybody who's watched, it's not the O-line's fault. They brought one more than they could protect. So don't rip Keene. Don't complain to Keene.
The first drive of the game, they brought zero. First time.
Yep.
He threw the corner route, PI.
Yep. Zero for fans out there, the terminology.
Zero. It's true man-to-man.
Right.
Cover 1 is man-to-man with the safety.
High.
0 is man-to-man. And at the end of the day, you're bringing more than the O-line can handle. Or running backs, tight ends, whatever. I mean, you're bringing one extra. You got to get out in a hurry, which Boise State did also. And
sure. No, I think both teams did it. But imagine this. If a tight end's blocking, it's bringing another one. If a tight end and another running back's blocking, it's bringing 2 more. You just can't protect it. It's not enough. And so that's where he got hit a couple of times. And you're not going to get away from it. But besides rolling the pocket and things like that to get out of that pocket, which they went to a couple of times. And converted a first down.
Which I didn't see the numbers today, but I know in that Wyoming game, Maddox Madsen was like 7 of 9 or something in play action and like 5 of 15 not in play action. Like when you have Genty and they're loading the box, like it seems like either play action or getting Madsen out a little bit really has been successful for this team.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
I mean, nobody wants to hear this because it's no fun, but they're well coached. They play well. Is everything going to be perfect? Probably not. But yeah, it's a really good team, and they're not worried about how much they win by. They're worried about winning.
Well, I agree with you, and that's where I mentioned this earlier. I've said it, and I know you're working, and I have said that I thought Boise State. This is 2 weeks ago, BJ. I thought Boise State needs help. I thought they had to beat PO by 21. I was wrong because the last ranking that came out. The guy actually said, I don't know his name, and I apologize.
Ward Manuel, the committee chair, the AD at Michigan.
Committee chair. He actually did an interview. He's like, well, Boise won. We value winning. And that's where I think where this is going right now is I think if Boise's winning, they actually want Boise in it, in my opinion. I think that is a true statement. And 2, they don't not only value winning, they moved up to 11.
Yep.
So I was wrong for that, and I admit that. And in tune, I get frustrated because they didn't win by enough. Well, right now it doesn't matter. If you're 1-point winner, they value winning. And Boise won fashionably, and move on to a great conference title.
We'll get to that, no doubt about it. But I know you said today was better, but the last 3 or 4 weeks, the wins have not been by the margin and the style that they were earlier in the season. We saw Tulane lose last night, though. Like, November football, it's hard to win games. Spencer just said that in the post game. Like, I know some teams want to say, the Wyoming game, some of these games are not ultra impressive victories, but they're winning. And you look at now what they've done these last 3 or 4 weeks. Like other teams in the country,
if we're playing the number 1 team in the country and we win by 1.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
right. Even if we could have won by 24, like, I mean, it's just.
But what does it say, I guess, for a team to be able to have that trait where it ain't always pretty, but guess what? They've won 10 games in a row, and here they are now in the championship game. Like I said, Tulane, loses at home last night to Mint. Like, I mean,
in my opinion.
Is that coaching? Is that players? Just
the right way to say this, but I think Boise State probably knew today going into this game it really doesn't mean anything. It's all going to come down to the Mountain West Championship.
Yeah, but hold on now.
They didn't play like that at all.
Oh, I think every game. I think today's game mattered just as much as last week's game and next week's game, because I don't think Boise State can lose to get in. I think if Boise State loses, they're out.
I think if they'd have lost today and won the championship, they might have been able to still sneak in.
That's my.
They wouldn't have got they wouldn't have got the bye, but they would have at least still been in the mix.
Nobody else.
They would have been in the mix at least.
Army's got one loss.
I think that even though this was that kind of weird sandwich kind of non-conference game, because of the playoff, though, I think it's been like, I mean, they've been playing, as Spencer said, playoff games the last 7-8 games every week. You got to win. They knew if they lost one, they were done. But I mean, just to now win 10 games in a row, like I said, even though the last 3-4 weeks haven't been super pretty, we look up. They're 11-1 and playing for it all next week.
I'm with you. But let's go back to that. You asked, is it players or is it coaching? I think it's a mix of both. But I honestly think this staff has done a great job of keeping the players' mind where they need to be at. Right? Like, you got to live. This is the game. This is the game. This is the game. And then now today, you have the senior day. We're not going to get these guys out on losers. I mean, I don't know when the last time a senior group has lost on the blue on senior day. I don't know that. I'm sure somebody in the comments will let us know. But yes, it's the leadership in the locker room where the coaches can't be there. And it's the leadership in the staff and in the meeting room saying, hey, guys, this is it. We can't lose. And you can't say it that way, but some coaches would say.
Well, it's the whole week. Like, how much time? Yeah. That started on Sunday. Like, hey, guys, we're not going to lose this. We're going to spend more time, blah, blah, blah. We're going to do everything. So
I will say, though, the whole protecting the blue thing, that's something Spencer's really gotten back to the last year and a half. And they're undefeated at home this year.
Special.
And they've won 8, 9, I think maybe 9 or 10 now in a row at home.
It's
and
special.
That's I mean, they had stretches where they'd go, 60-1 or whatever at home, or they had these crazy 104, I think it was, over a 10-year period at one point. Like, they just literally,
you don't lose.
Never. I mean, teams came in here literally knew they had no chance.
And not only that, because I was the outsider coming in here, right? And to go to your point, I was the outsider. And when I got here in 17, they're like, and I'm like, oh, we got a home game. What up, bud? We got a home game. And everybody's like, oh, by the way, we don't lose.
Shout out Lou Major in the background there.
I was like, we don't lose here. And I'm like, well, I know it's a home game. He's like, no, I don't think you understand this. And it's like a cult. I mean, it is. It's a cult. And the fans today at a 10 o'clock game, and Boise State Athletic Department, shout out to them, putting the tweet out at 8 a.m. saying, hey, we have an issue with the event staff. It's going to be longer wait to get in.
Yep.
And when we saw, the line was behind the east stands, still waiting to come in, and there was 8 minutes left to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, there were some folks that didn't, but they didn't heed to the message, and they missed the part of the first quarter.
Packed at a 10 a.m. kick.
And they went wild. Like we said, the first play of the game, they get a false start on the first play of the game.
And I know, and now BJ, we're going to get to this.
The South End Zone showed up.
Yeah. You want this team to win the Mountain West Conference Channel, and that needs to be the same thing.
Which has, because of just corporate tickets and everything else and having to resell the tickets, it's not an indictment on anybody, but they've had trouble selling tickets for the championship game in previous years. They have.
Oh, we had, I think Hawaii, we had 25,000.
I did hear
they're making
really good progress.
Yep.
We need a great week of ticket sales.
Yep.
And people need to be in there at 5:30.
Yep.
It'd be
Friday
awesome.
And 6 p.m. kickoff.
Yeah.
Let's.
I mean, I don't know why you can't sell this thing out. I mean, yeah, the sun is right in your eyes.
It should have been to sell out every year.
Yep.
It's a benefit to have a home game.
Well, a lot of the season tickets it's not part of the package. I've always said, why can't you just count it as part of the package and either give them a refund or whatever? But they just can't.
Albertsons Stadium turns into Mountain West Conference Stadium. It's not Boise State Stadium anymore.
Yep.
It becomes the
Mountain West. The Mountain West rents the stadium or whatever.
It becomes a neutral site, which is BS. We all know that.
Yep.
You own it.
And they did. I'm told, too, that I don't know if the Mountain West is trying to capitalize off this or what, but the Mountain West raised the ticket.
Sure they are.
They raised the ticket prices this year from previous championship games also.
Well, that's bold.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
That's BS. Because you know what? It matters to the kids. Just sell at the stadium. Don't make $1 on people. Just sell out the stadium.
It should be less. $10, $20. Fill the place.
Bring it in.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the Mountain West, they're not our friends right now.
It's a horrible conference. It's not run very well.
Well, but they're not our friends right now.
Why is that, Rid?
Because we're leaving. So, I mean, yeah, they're not going to help us.
We'll get to that, and we know. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well, I do have some highlights I want to play. We have some interviews I want to play as well, but I do want to thank a couple of our sponsors. Western Collective, that Horseshoe Golden Ale. Make sure you pick one up, the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the Orange Chaos Seltzer. They're both available at Albertsons Stadium, Extra Mile Arena, or that brewery, obviously, in Garden City. Most major retailers as well. Check them out, Western Collective, our studio sponsor here at Bronco Nation News. RoePaint.com, our title sponsor. Check them out, ROEPaint.com. All your painting needs, whether it's those concrete coatings, those interior, exterior painting, make sure you check them out. Our title sponsor, RoePaint.com, and perfect time of year to get that scheduled for the spring. Idaho Central Credit Union sponsoring our post-game show here, ICCU.com. Check them out, ICCU.com. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest is that mobile e-branch online banking. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, like I said, and we appreciate our friends at Idaho Central Credit Union. Check them out, ICCU.com. Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. Number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. Rain's family purchased our home, sold our home using Matt and his team. We found out firsthand just how awesome the customer service is from Matt. He's now part of the Boise State home team, so check them out, Bauscher Real Estate, BauscherRealEstate.com, and Ridley's Family Markets, ShopRidleys.com. We appreciate Ridley's Family Markets, ShopRidleys.com, and there's 13 locations in the state of Idaho, others in surrounding states as well. So hometown feel when you come in the grocery store, and you can find a location near you online at ShopRidleys.com. Guys, anything else before we get to some of the highlights, some of the interviews here, anything else stand out to you from this game? What do you want to get to here, Rid?
Because the ACC is so much better in the Mountain West, I would love to mention that San Jose is up 14-3 on Stanford. So,
and what's that Colorado State score also?
16-13 Utah State.
Okay. So that it won't be official because they would go to the computer rankings, but UNLV is significantly ahead. But that would take most of the suspense out of it tomorrow's
Colorado
game.
State actually closed the
They're
gap.
driving, yeah.
It was not close earlier.
No,
Yeah, 14-0, I believe.
Colorado State did not start fast.
Boise State, 28 first downs in this game, 465 yards, 5.7 yards per play. But back to Genty for a second, guys. We kind of went straight into the Travis Hunter talk without really spending much time on Genty. 226 yards tonight, 37 carries for Ashton Jeanty.
That's ridiculous.
Tell us as a running backs coach, I mean, you're a former running backs coach,
Yeah.
like what to take 37 hits, 37, maybe there's one or two plays where he ran out of bounds, but 37 carries in a game for the fifth, sixth straight game in a row. Like, what does that do to someone's body?
Well, beats him up. And the fact they'll get this week was a short week, so he'll get another day.
Yep.
I mean, he doesn't need a ton of practice at this point. Like, just get him healthy.
Take him through blitz protection. That's it. Just take him through blitz protection.
You don't think he'll no need to practice much this week? Rest him up.
Why?
And I think in a perfect world, you would have liked to have not. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't want to give him 37 carries, but I mean, if this game could have gone differently, maybe this was a game where you would have said, "Okay, let's get up, let's keep him at 15, let's have him fresh for next week." But you got to win the game, and you got to do what you can. That wasn't the case today.
And Ashton took some hits. I mean,
that
he's
run,
not avoiding contact like, "Oh, I'm the Heisman guy."
Well, that's why he fumbled. He had the first down, but he just kept pushing for extra yardage.
Yeah, it's
I think this game we saw one of his best runs when the linebacker ran free. Linebacker runs free. He meets him in the hole, or at least 2 yards in the backfield, spins off of him, gain of 12.
Outruns a corner.
Outruns a corner. In my opinion, that run is not flashy. He didn't get the 70. That is one of not his best runs, if not the best run. Washington State tough is one of his best runs all year.
I know the Heisman thing's a big thing. Like, if you're a Heisman voter and you're not like legitimately watching games, then don't vote. Like, just like don't look at stats and whatever. Because Ashton's stats are better and all that stuff. But if you want to look at Travis Hunter and it's like, he had a
they're just different players. It's a shame for Ashton that this Travis Hunter hype and all this is happening this season because he would have in 98 out of 100 years he would have been the runaway.
I would agree.
And just the social media hype and they're just different types of players. And what Travis Hunter doing is pretty. I mean, the amount of interceptions. I'm not going to count snaps, but the stats he's putting up, doing what he's doing at the Division I level on both sides,
unbelievable.
Yep.
he is an unbelievable player.
Yep.
I don't want to diminish that. I really don't.
Yep.
But, today was all about getting Travis Hunter the Heisman.
I agree.
And I think some of that had to do with them being pissed that he didn't get nominated for the Thorpe Award and all that.
Yep.
All Ashton's doing is trying to win the game.
Yep.
And that guy's battle is freaking ass.
You know what?
And I would say this. I don't know how close to 100% Ashton is, but it's not 100.
Not even close.
Because there were a couple plays earlier in the year when he was feeling good. I felt like he'd have hurled the guy. He'd have
stiff-armed him or got by.
I don't think Travis Hunter
instead he put his shoulder down and gained 5 more yards.
Yep.
Yep.
I think Travis Hunter's a hell of a football player. I really do. I think he deserves the respect in that. But I'll say it again. He's a great athlete. He's the best athlete. If you want to get snaps on, he's not, in my opinion, the best all-around football player.
Well,
and I'll tell you this right now, I'm tired of it, of all the hoopla and all that stuff. If Fox and ESPN weren't, how do I say this without being what you don't want me to say? It's going to be really bad. If they do not talk highly of him in a way of a manner I was going to say, this wouldn't be an argument.
Yep.
It's ESPN and Fox.
There's a lot of agenda, it seems like, going on with some of that. It's a joke. Yep.
And I'll tell you this right now. I'll say it, and I hope it goes well. It's because they're worried about their press pass being stolen. Let's call it is what it is. Colorado right now is just going to dictate the media, and they need that. And where a Boise State doesn't need it. They're getting the hype, but they need the snaps. So now we're saying snaps. I played 2 ways. Did I get it? No. I played goal line defensive tackle. Did I get it? No. I don't care about snaps.
How many sacks you have?
0. God, what a loser. But you don't tell me like, we had a pick today. Walker would have thrown that pick.
Yeah. That pick looked like it was set up.
It's the worst. It looks like, what? It looked like Michael Strahan's sack versus Brett Favre to win him the sack award. That's what it looked like. It was embarrassing.
You mentioned the O-line. Let's get back to this Boise State game. How about Mason Randolph getting back out there?
Love it for
even in a couple limited series to get him his feet wet for next week. Roger Carrion did get whistled for another key holding call, which took away a Genty run. He had 3 penalties last week, but he's getting back out there, and I thought played pretty well. But to get those two guys both, for sure, Randolph. And Spencer Danielson came out and said Mason Randolph is out for the season. In the beginning of the season, he works his way back, torn bicep. Works his way back, gets back out there, and then carry on dealing with a broken leg. Works his way back to get 2 guys back.
I'd like to I predicted both would come back.
Well, I mean, when the head coach says he's out for the season, we take him for his word. But for those guys that both work their way back and to have them back moving forward
I don't
here,
even mean it that way. Yeah, I just thought those
guys.
How
big is that for the O-line? Though?
Huge.
I thought both those guys would just fight their way to.
Do you know how tough those 2 kids are?
Yeah,
you're telling me.
I think the smart thing for both of them.
That means everything.
Would have been
stop. Yeah, stay out. But
Spence was trying
to care about it.
Take care of them.
Yeah, but they care about Boise State. They care about winning. They care that they think they're needed, and so they're working their way back. A torn bicep, in nobody in the NFL is going to put somebody on the field. They're playing. They're getting back, and I think Mason Randolph, in my opinion, is an NFL offensive lineman. I'll say it till I am blue in the face. He is an NFL offensive lineman. We thought that when we were recruiting him. I think this guy's got a future being in the National Football League. It just hasn't gone his way injury-wise. But for him to come back, you know how much this means to these 2 kids?
He had the face paint on today. I mean, he was ready to go.
Room. That's a locker room. That's not coaching. That's a locker room. And the training staff, give the training staff, they've put him forward. They're not going to put him on the field where they think he's going to risk more injury.
Yep.
So give it to the training staff to work hard and put the time in for these young men to get back on the field.
And we saw last week they got carry on some limited action, and he was out there pretty much the whole game tonight. What did it do today going into the championship to get some snaps for Randolph?
And there's some rust. You're right. There's rust. He's got some holding calls. There's rust. For anybody, you can't mimic game speed. And for these kids to get snaps, especially at center, right, where you got the anxiety of getting the ball in your hand, But the rust is coming off, and now you're ready to go on. And when it means the most here next week and the following week, or the following week, whatever, is you knock the rust off, you're ready to go. And that's important. As an offensive lineman, that is vital.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from this one. Again, senior day, 21 seniors. What's that like for a senior and a coaching staff? And that maybe you have to take it out and replay it. I don't know what happened there, but we'll get the highlights going here in a second. Senior day,
it's
21 seniors today.
Freaking awesome for those guys. Get out there with their families, be recognized.
Number 33, Tyler
Gone through it so many times. Actually got to go through it as a parent once. It's emotional. It's phenomenal.
It's emotional.
I mean, it's emotional. It really is.
Any different knowing you have another home game next week, though?
No. It's emotional. And you know what?
That's real right there.
Those kids right now, like I always told the seniors, so like, you got to get ready for this. Oh, I'll be fine. I was like, I don't think you understand how emotional this is about to be. And as a coach, it's emotional because you invest in these kids and you love them. And as they go on and they take that field, see, Rid. I mean, you were there.
Yeah.
It's an emotional thing that they only get that once. And some of the guys that leave early, they don't get that. Right? You didn't see Genty come out. Right? Ezra didn't come out. And it's an emotional thing that they deserve.
Any thought that a guy like Genty should have? I mean, is it you got to be a senior or a guy like that?
I don't know the rules.
I mean, they honored him during one of the timeouts with saying he had broke the record on the scoreboard. But
I don't know the rules.
Well, I think you could, if you wanted to do it, you could do whatever you want. I think it's just kind of hey, you got to be a senior. That's
so you saying Genty's coming back?
Please don't say that. Please don't start that. No. I mean, any coach can do what he wants. Any coach can. He's coming back next week. Any coach can do what he wants, but
great job.
But I don't know. I think it is, unfortunately for Ashton, like that's just it's senior day. You're not a senior. You're not senior. But you know some of these guys like Austin Bolt, who could have gone through today. He still has 2 years left. Like Latrell Caples decided not. The whole COVID thing is messing up because some guys go through it because they're not sure if they're going to come back, and then they decide to. You see the highlights that we're showing here. Boise State got off to that 14-0 start, as we said, and defense was applying some pressure tonight.
Yo, defense is awesome. Hey, everybody's favorite deal is to criticize the offensive line and the corners or passing game or whatever. So defense played awesome.
They played a lot better.
Something about day games, too. I don't know why. I know the night game at the Blue is pretty special, but today, the bright sun shining and the place was packed.
We're about to find out about the night game.
I know, and I do say, and I am very partial to the night games, but I thought today there was just something special about a day game on the Blue, too. I thought it was
well, I think on senior day, absolutely.
I love it.
Let everybody get out there. To me, the advantage of the senior game deal early in the morning, like these guys will actually get today, tomorrow, spend with their family.
Yeah,
be with them.
It's a really good point.
It's a big turnaround when you throw in the fact that they get the rest of today off and then all of tomorrow off, and UNLV doesn't play till 6-7 p.m. tomorrow night. They're going to get done at 10:30, and Boise State will have already had 36 hours off, essentially.
And I'm not even talking about the rest and the preparation. I'm talking about these guys just being able to be with their family.
Absorb it.
Yeah.
Take it in and enjoy the fact of it's the last time they're playing.
Like Kaneho, like he's got his whole family flew over here.
I mean, works out nice with the holiday weekend.
98% of these kids will never put a helmet on again in college football after the playoff.
What'd you think? They tried a flea flicker there. I mean, they were trying some different stuff. The onside kick, I don't know. We haven't gotten there yet, but what'd you make of them trying the onside? It didn't work.
Well, if you go for two.
Well, why did they go for two there, Brad?
I don't get it. I don't know.
You're the kind of game manager type. I mean, I couldn't figure out a situation there. I guess a touchdown and field goal, and you win by one instead of be tied and go to overtime. Or
no idea.
I couldn't figure out why they went for two.
Can't stop them.
Honestly, my best guess is somebody misread the chart.
What a dumbass.
Yeah, I could see that.
But
you mean he saved a timeout when he shouldn't have, and that guy got him fired today?
Well, I was wanting to know there was there was a whole nother spot where they were going to punt it, and then they wasted a timeout. And I was sitting next to Jay Tuss. I'm like, I don't know what the analytics say, but is it really worth burning a timeout to back your punter up 5 yards? Like that was another one I didn't think was a.
No, it's the same thing at the end of the half. Why are we calling timeout? Just go to the half.
Well, there was 2 seconds. Yeah, I guess they thought maybe they were going to punt, but then they just went back and wasted the 2 seconds and took the knee. Genty gets there.
anyway. Yes,
Yes.
I
Not sure why they went for it there. The two.
yeah. But yeah,
Do you like the third down scramble? They gave Genty his two chances there. The crowd's chanting Genty with a minute to go in the game. They gave him his chances. The crowd's chanting it. He had, again, two chances, couldn't get in. They had the Clydesdale package in there with the defensive lineman coming in. He gets stuffed. 3rd and goal. The crowd's chanting Genty again, and they did the all-out boot naked for Maddox.
yeah. Which I've said this all year long. Like, I think Dirk's way more concerned about winning the game than anything else. And
I like the play call. I mean, I
thought it was great.
Genty had his two chances from the 3 or 4, whatever it was, and didn't get in.
Somebody saw the backside in, chasing down, and said, "Hey, just tell him to pull it and boot it." And he made a guy miss. Made a guy miss a score.
Yep.
Speaking of Maddox Madsen, really strong game for him. Let's hear from Maddox Madsen speaking with the media after the game. All right, not sure why Maddox Madsen's not playing here. We'll get to that in just a second. Maybe take it out and put it back in, I guess. Maddox Madsen speaking with the media after the
long
game.
regular season, just to finish it off with a win on senior day today and set everything up for next week. What's it feeling like?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just mentioned the biggest part of that win. Those seniors, talk about so many guys that come in here every day and have for the last several years. A lot of those guys have been in here for 6 years and given everything they've got, stayed here at chances they could have left. And so it goes out to those guys, and it was a big win for those guys to finally come together as a team and just win like that. Last regular season home game, it was big for sure.
I know you settled for a couple field goals and maybe felt like it could have been a bigger margin, but overall, I mean, offensively, you guys moved the ball. How do you feel like you guys played?
Yeah, I mean, I thought offensively we did do a good job. There's certain things, yes, we probably want to finish better when it comes to the red zone, but multiple first downs, like, I don't know, there's a lot. So that was a big part of it, but we had a couple drives that still we probably shot ourselves a little bit, but overall I felt offensively we did a good job, and that was a big-time game going into next week especially.
To be able to get the lead early, hold on to the lead, not have to come back like you have in the past couple of weeks, how nice was that?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think the challenge now is once we get those leads, we kind of got to step away a little bit more and find more comfort, I guess, but those guys were tough. A lot of people, they kind of turned their season around a little bit the last couple of games, and so that was a tough team, and so it was a tough win overall, but it was good for sure.
What did you think about how Matt Louder played, especially that deep run at towards the end of the game?
Yeah, I mean, Matt's always doing Matt Louder things for sure. I think early in the week he told me he was going to hurdle someone, so when I saw him go up in the air, that was huge. But talk about a guy that run game especially has been awesome, and then he gets rewarded for things like that. And so he's a stud. He's going to be a tight end that plays at the next level for sure.
How big was that drive after Genty fumbled and they came down and scored, and then it's only 14-7 there with under 2 minutes till half to come down and get 7 out of that? How big was that?
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, we always talk about the statistics of the game in general, and so to be able to score in kind of the middle 8, I guess, was huge. And I think the offense, we kind of got ourselves in a little bit of rhythm in that last drive before half, so that was big time for sure.
Austin had that first touchdown for you. He had a big catch there, I think, I forget if it was second or third quarter, but got you guys a first down. Just how big was he today?
Yeah, he was huge. I mean, he's kind of been that guy that's always just been able in the right position to make plays when he needs to, and so that's just another guy that comes in here and grinds, and then to see him get a couple of catches was huge, and especially a touchdown. The first touchdown of that game was huge.
Maybe the completion percentage isn't there, but there were some drops and things. But overall, I mean, you trying to rebound from last week, how do you think you played today?
Yeah, I mean, I thought decision-wise was probably one of the best games I've played for sure. And there are certain things I know it was a goal this week to kind of, if we're throwing the ball away, let's make it an actual throwaway. And so that was a big emphasis in my game. And I felt personally I did make the decisions I needed to and put the ball in the place I needed to for sure.
Roger Carrion and Mason Randolph were both back. How much does that help the line improve?
Yeah, 100%. Those two guys, they seriously are two of the funniest guys, especially when they're together. But they bring a leadership aspect to the room. Obviously, you got Ben and Cage. Those guys do a great job. But Roger and Mace, they bring something else to that room of kind of a mean little deal. So it's helped us immensely. And going further, it's going to be a huge thing. But also, I think we've seen that we have depth and we can make things happen with what we have. And so those guys back is huge, and it helps our offense a lot.
4 weeks maybe haven't been the prettiest wins of all time, but as the pressure builds and everything builds, you just continue to find. We saw Tulane couldn't win last night. You guys just continue to find ways to win. What's that say about this team to be in this position now? One game away from your goals.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I think you talk about from January to now of a team that's constantly trained to finish certain things and be tough. And you've seen the last 4 weeks have been. November's not easy to win in, and people always say that. You've seen so many teams go down, and so for our team to kind of sink to the level of our training and know that we can win games in the ugliest elements and still win is huge. And I think you talk about the goal and kind of where we're at, knowing we're playing one more game at a time is just huge for sure.
Not be one more at a time, just one. You know, and what to get to this point now and be one game away, literally from all your goals. You set back, the day after the UCLA game. Just what is the feeling like going into this week?
Yeah, I mean, it's a blessing. I think there was probably a few people outside of this building that thought that we were going to be in this position that we are. But if you look at all 115 guys on the football team right now and asked them in January if you knew we were going to be at this position at the end of the year, I think everyone would say yes. And so that's kind of the mindset that we have, and it's a blessing to be able to have this last game in the Mountain West Championship for sure.
For you personally, not being able to play postseason football last year, what's it mean to you now to be there, to be playing in a championship game and just whatever's on beyond that, and just what does anything change in terms of kind of the mode you guys are in?
Not really as much. I think every week we go into winning football games, and so I feel like personally on my level, missing that postseason last year was hard for me. But I've been able to see and learn from the older guys kind of how to handle the pressure of postseason. And so going into this next game, nothing's really going to change. We're going to play our brand of football, and that's worked. So.
For a 10 a.m. kickoff, I mean, this place was packed.
And there's Madson speaking with the media after the game. We will get that full video up on the YouTube channel if you want to go on there and check that. You can do that in a little bit. We have some other interviews to play as well. But, guys, while we have you still, let's spin this forward now. Boise State, we don't know for sure who they're going to play yet. Could be UNLV, could be Colorado State. I think chances are it's going to be – we expect it to be UNLV. Yeah. But just all this season, all this 10 wins in a row, but it doesn't mean nothing if you can't win next week. Your thoughts going into this game against whoever they're going to play in the championship?
Yeah, I expect a full stadium. We'll have a great atmosphere, and that's going to add up to points on the scoreboard. Whether it's offsides, false starts, whatever, it will matter. So show up, be loud, have a great time. But I sense that we're getting healthier.
Yeah,
as it goes on.
We didn't even talk about Andrew Simpson getting back out there today, too.
Yeah, Drew was back out there.
Limited reps. But
Mason Randolph back. Rogers a week into it. We're actually getting healthier. And I think that, I know. Well, I don't think. I know that.
Yep.
I'm fired up to see these guys have those chances.
This dumbass just missed
it. And if Ashton get a little bit healthier, that guy's battling his ass off. He's still the best running back in the country, and there's 0% chance he's 100%.
Oh, he's a dope walker winner. I don't think that's
Brad. Last time they played UNLV, though, 29-24, kind of a scary game. And if you remember, UNLV was up 10-3. Boise State got a big interception from Andrew Simpson before halftime and scored. And then UNLV comes back in the third quarter and actually takes a 24-23 lead with a minute to go in the third quarter. Boise State has a big drive to start the fourth quarter, and Ashton Jeanty scores early in the fourth quarter. Boise State's defense gets a stop. And then if you remember, the offense finished the game on an 8-minute drive to finish the game. But that was a scary game down there at UNLV, and certainly not going to be easy next week if they play UNLV.
Yeah, I think athletically – you want a Colorado State matchup more than a UNLV matchup, in my opinion.
Yeah, well,
in my opinion. But I think a UNLV's
a good
team. They're a good football team.
Yeah.
And I'd rather play Colorado State. Colorado State, in my opinion, I hate Colorado State. Never liked them. I'm a Colorado guy. The last team that anybody even lost to Colorado State was Danny Avalo's team that lost to Colorado State. So we don't lose to Colorado State. In turn, you don't lose to UNLV either. So I think athletically, it's not even close. Colorado or UNLV is much more athletic than a Colorado State team. Colorado State just missed a field goal to tie it up. So I think you got UNLV coming to town. And even though, and I'll make the, and we've said this before, I don't care that a Mountain West conference takes over the stadium. Boise controls the attendance, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, UNLV is going to have their fair share of crowd.
Having this game here
is
huge.
A big deal. And you can,
UNLV, maybe you'll get 3,000 people here.
I think a little bit more.
Well, I think I brought this up before, but it was last game or one of you guys, like, maybe you're going to say it's hyperbole, I'm prisoner of a moment, whatever, but I think you could make a very strong game given what's on the line with a win, not only to get into the playoff, but to get a bye. And you're talking $5, $6, $7 million for the university. You're talking being in the quarterfinals of the tournament with a chance to win the entire thing, to go back to the Fiesta Bowl. You can make a strong case next Friday at 6:00 is the biggest game in the history of Boise State football.
Yeah, right.
Definitely on the blue, I would think. But I think you can say what you want about the first Fiesta Bowl, that when they won it, it became obviously a monumental victory.
Yeah.
But what this game means in terms of getting into the playoff, I really think it's if you could make an argument, it's the biggest game in the history of this program.
Ranking stuff like that.
But it's up there. It's one of for sure.
It's an important game, and we need people here.
As a home game, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think there's much that's come to. I mean, you've been here a lot longer than I have.
Yeah, I'm just saying, everybody should be here. Yeah, and cheer their ass off, be loud,
right? Like what you're saying, treat it so is like get your butt here, but another thing is.
How about UNLV though with Tulane losing last night though? If UNLV wins tomorrow, that's essentially the winner goes to the CFP. I mean, I know UNLV was going to come here. It's the championship game. They're obviously going to be motivated no matter what. But now you're dangling that carrot in front of UNLV. You go win this game, you're in the playoff all of a sudden. They get in. 12. Yeah, they get in.
I mean, think about this matchup. UNLV, we're gonna assume they're in, right? UNLV wins, they're 12. Boise wins, they're 4.
Is there any chance that a Big 12 team could pass them if Boise State beats a rank? Beats a rank? No, for the bye.
Absolutely, there's.
You still think that they can move somebody ahead of?
Chance? Yeah, fuck. I mean, there's a chance.
Yes.
Because nobody's doing Boise State any favors at the end of it. They're doing Boise State favors with it right now.
Yeah,
but at the end of it, we don't know what's happening behind closed doors. I mean,
I think there's a CON conspiracy about this shit. I guarantee it. I think right now this committee does not want Boise State to get 4.
If at all possible, they will try to pick somebody else.
They will try, but they can't with a win. You can't. If UNLV comes out and all that, they're 12. If Boise wins, they're 4. Period. But I tell you right now,
that'd be a top 20 win for Boise State if they beat UNLV or close to it.
Those jackasses are praying Boise not at 4. It's just I have that feeling.
Yeah.
But right now, I don't see a Boise State. Right now, I don't see a Boise State team losing Friday. It's UNLV or Colorado State's ass.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
We're going to hear from Spencer Danielson. I'm at Hassanin. Final thoughts, gentlemen. We're going to let you guys roll here before we hear from Spencer. 11-1 regular season. Nice win, but one still to go. And what are your final thoughts here, Brad?
Utah State sucks. What do I think? I think it's a great win. They're 1-0 for the week.
Yep.
We were sitting out there and Washington State was coming to town. And it was electric.
Yep.
Right? That's what that setting needs to be here doubled. So call off of work. I don't care. Tell your boss to shove it.
6 o'clock Friday game's not ideal for tailgating and everything else.
I agree with you.
Well, it should be.
It should be.
Let's make this
right now.
Boise City.
Yeah, where's the mayor or something? Let's go.
The mayor. Noon. Governor Little.
Yes.
1 o'clock Friday.
Yeah. Governor Little. I am asking you to let people off of work come noon, because right now this city is going to be unbelievable. And I think right now is today's game is what I wanted to see. Right? Improvement, physical Boise State football that's going to help them come into Friday night. And I still think it's UNLV or Colorado State, but you can out physical both teams. And that's what they have to do.
And it does seem like it'd be a game where this is the classic crowd kind of wills them to a win.
Here we go. And anybody right now who's saying, "Oh, I hope I can get to the game," just buy the tickets.
If you were ever a fan, if you're a fan of this team and you've either come to one game, 3 games, like if you picked one game all year to go to, like this would be it.
Buy the tickets.
Why would you not come to this one?
Buy the ticket.
Yeah.
And you know what it is? I get it. It may not. Oh, I want to support the university.
Yep.
But you know what? You are supporting the university's football team, and you got to get to this game. It has to be a sellout. Don't let it go to past years that I've been a part of this where the upper deck corners are empty.
Yep.
You can't do that. It's got to be a sellout. It's got to be loud. And anybody who walks into the stadium shouldn't stand a chance.
Well, we'll have a pregame show with you guys on Friday. We'll talk to you Wednesday morning. Maybe Wednesday night we're figuring out, or maybe still Tuesday night. We'll see. There's a basketball game Tuesday, but I know we're working on a night for Riley and Rid, and we're going to hear from Spencer and stuff. But you guys are giving up your time. We're going to let you roll. Appreciate you guys for coming on, and it should be a fun next 7 days. Getting ready for that game next Friday.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Can't wait.
Broncos.
We're going to hear from Spencer Danielson in just a second. But first, want to tell you, Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game. Appreciate you guys. Locations Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Been around since 1978. Part of the Boise State home team. TheSpaTeam.com. Whether it's a spa for the back patio, pool table for the game room, whatever you'd like, they got it for you at Snake River Pool and Spa. Check them out online at TheSpaTeam.com. Lithia Ford of Boise has their 72-hour sale going on. Ben Franklin said time is money. In the case of the 72-hour sale, Lithia Ford of Boise, time is saving money on new Ford trucks and SUVs. Trade in, trade out, buy or lease, new or used. We'll help you make every minute count until 6 p.m. on Sunday. Visit them online at lithiafordboise.com or stop by Boise's only Ford store at Fairview and Milwaukee. That's Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. SON Management, the Nicolason family, TacoBellWorks.com. They are hiring. If you're looking for a job, highly recommend a career at Taco Bell. Free food while you work, half the wages the next day after your shift, and of course, a lot of promotional opportunities as well. And the food is great, so go check it out. Rain's family, probably tonight or tomorrow, we'll be heading to Taco Bell ourselves. The cheesy roll-ups, the gorditas, the tacos, all the great stuff they have at Taco Bell. Check them out. TacoBellWorks.com. And Transportation Compliance Service. We're going to hear from Spencer Danielson in just a second. Transportation Compliance Service. Check them out online, transcomservice.com. Local company in the base, helping folks all over the world get into the trucking industry. So highly recommend them, transcomservice.com. Let's hear from Spencer Danielson meeting with the media after the win.
Well, always, so grateful you guys being here, and honestly, you got to give a shout out to BJ. He's back from the Cayman Islands. It's a big deal. Didn't want to head out to Laramie, but he's, was out and hanging out on the beach. So glad you're back, BJ. But no, guys, and hopefully not just on Thanksgiving week, but just a heart of gratitude is such a big deal, and it's something that I always focus on a lot. And I open up my press conferences because I give Jesus all the glory. I know that's the only reason I'm here. I'm so thankful that he put me in this seat. We have the best AD in the country. Everything we need to be successful, we have here. We have more than enough. And we're always going to be pushing forward on the cutting edge to grow this place. But the support I have from my AD, my boss, is through the roof. We got a group of young men that do not run from hard work, short week, whatever outside noise, all this coming at them. Guys banged up, week 13, continue to work, continue to grind because they love each other. We've got a group of seniors, 21 seniors that have been through so much. COVID, multiple head coaches. They went out there and played for each other tonight. They played for our seniors. They played because they're going to sacrifice for each other. That's love. Here, we define love as action and sacrifice. That's what love is, and that's what this team shows every single day. I got a group of pastors on Wednesday morning that show up at 6 a.m. and we pray for our team. We pray for these kids. We pray for their lives. We pray for their families. We pray for God's best in their life. And so I just start out by saying these things. We have the best staff in the country. This staff tirelessly works to find a way, no excuses, find the way to put our players in the cutting edge, support them, love them. I'm just so blessed and humbled to be the head coach here. There's credit that I'm given that I do not deserve. I'm here. I'm just so blessed. So thankful for our team, getting to the game. So thankful for Bronco Nation showing up in a major way. That place was rocking the first couple series that Oregon State was on offense. they could barely move the ball. First off, our defense started really well, which I'm proud of, but it was loud. And Bronco Nation, we are going to need every single bit of that and more a week from now for the championship game, whoever we play with. Bronco Nation, best fan base in the country. We love you. We need you. Been proud of our team. We played a really good game today. There's going to be a lot of things on film to continue to clean up, but we started fast. Our guys were resilient throughout. Some things that, a drop ball, a miss pick, a miss here, those things happen in a game. And we need to work to make sure those happen less. But our guys executed. They were resilient. They stayed together. Defensively, like I said, started really strong. We had one misfit in the first half, turned an 80-yard touchdown. That's playing defense. We didn't fit the run right. Perfect call. Should have been a TFL. Didn't happen. We didn't fit it right. 80-yard touchdown. Stayed resilient. Our offense started out really strong. 2 touchdowns to start the game. Had some penalties that took some scores off the board, and we had to settle for field goals. We got the best field goal kicker in the nation, so we're going to go out there and take points. But I'm proud of our guys continuing to stay in it. And even special teams-wise, Coach Collins continues to have a really good plan. We have more than enough, and finding ways to continue to win the field position battle. So proud of our team. I thought Madson did a great job today leading our offense, staying in the fight, making throws, even, a couple drops or a couple things that didn't go our way, stayed in it. Ashton Jeanty, we can be here all day talking about him, an absolute warrior, a warrior for his teammates. When the defense is out there, half the time I run into him because he's there cheering the defense on. This is a team-first kid. Amara McCoy did not play well against Wyoming, struggled, had one of his better games as a Bronco, and he answered the call. That's life. He teaches you so much about life. You didn't play well, what are you going to do now? You're going to tuck your tail and run, or you're going to step up and play your best football? And I'm so proud of him stepping up, had a really good game today. I know I'm probably missing a couple guys, but I'm just proud of our team, excited where we're growing to, and it's championship week.
The last 3-4 weeks maybe hasn't been the prettiest wins of all time, but we saw what Tulane did last night. You just have to win, and to be at this point now 11-1 and now have the championship game here. What does it say about this team that they're able to find ways to win?
Yeah, BJ, they're resilient, and we talk all the time. This team's built for this. That's how we train. That's the schemes we run. It doesn't matter what the score is at the end of the day as long as we find a way to win. If we win by 50, win by 7, win by 1, find a way to win. Now, we look at the film to make sure we grow every week. Just because you win doesn't mean you wash it away, but I'm proud of our guys finding a way to win. We're going to continue to get everybody's best. We knew without question we were going to get Oregon State's absolute best today. Fighting to be bowl eligible, I believe they played their best game against Washington State. We knew we were going to get their best. And it's my job, and our coaches and our players know we have to earn the right to then go cut it loose and play our best. No different next week. Whoever we play in the championship game, UNLV, Colorado State, we will get their absolute best on Friday. We got to earn the right to go play our best. And we serve a God of completion. We are not done. So proud of what we've done to this point. There's a lot of things after the season you'll look back on and be proud of, but we're not done. Our goal is right above me. That's not something I created. That's the standard here. And we have never won back-to-back Mountain West championships. And we've got a chip on our shoulder to find a way to do it. We know whoever we play is going to have the same chip on their shoulder, so we got to earn the right to play our best.
You guys have won, 10 or 11 in a row at home now. What is the significance of that? Because you go back 2 years ago, and it just, your guys' success on the blue wasn't meeting the standard of the blue, and it feels like that's how you turn this program back into what it has been, I guess.
Yeah, Jay. The best teams win at home, and that's something I talked to our team to start the season. It is such a special atmosphere to play at home in front of Bronco Nation, all those things. But there is no magic sauce when we go walk on that field. The best teams win at home. You protect your home turf. Look at the stats of home field advantage throughout the years. Who's up there? The best teams. And that's what I told them. We have to be the best team to make sure we protect our home turf. It's got to matter more to you. You come and play on the blue, we have to play our best. It's in front of our family. We believe in Bronco Nation. And we're going to need every bit of it next week. Is it an advantage? Absolutely, playing at home. But the best teams went home. And that's where and that is through your work. It's through how you prep every single day to go play your best at home. It's not, we're at home, so we're going to be fine. Absolutely not. And I've seen it. Me personally has lost way too many games on the blue. I remember every single one of them. And don't want that to happen. And I know our players don't. We talk about protecting the blue. We put a premium on it, and you got to find a way to win home.
after a couple weeks where you had to come from behind to win. How nice was it to get off to an early start? I mean, it's still not an easy win by any means, but just to be playing in the lead the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, it's starting fast is a huge part for all teams, and I'm proud of our team doing it today, 14-0, starting fast, and find a way to just be consistent. Like I said, whatever the total was we won by, I really am proud of our team. We played some really good football today. I'm proud of how we responded. I'm proud of how we played in a lot of these situations. Now, look at the scoreboard. I mean, there's a fumble in there. There's some missed third downs. There's some field goals we settled for. And that's why the margin wasn't there. But we played some good football tonight. There's still a lot to clean up. There's a lot of things to get fixed. But we took a step as a program today, and we're going to need to take another big one this week.
I think among one of your many sayings that we hear you say a lot is, it's tough to win. You know, how tough is it to do it 10 times in a row?
It's hard, man. It's hard to win. And it's something we will celebrate every single one of the wins. We will learn from every single win, but it's hard to win. And you look across college football, especially in the month of November, crazy things happen. And especially the situation we're in, we're going to get everybody's best. Now as you go into a championship game, I mean, both sides know what it is. It's put the ball down, and you got 60 minutes or overtime to find a way to go win a championship. And we've been in multiple situations in my time here where we've won a championship, and the next year we've come up short. We got to earn the right to make sure that doesn't happen again.
After Genty had the fumble and they have the 87-yard touchdown on the next play, you know, less than 2 minutes left till half for you guys to come down and get that touchdown right before half and go up 14 to the break. How big was that?
Yeah, BJ, I mean, that's football. You know, I mean, we're up 14-0. All things are pointing towards us to go up 21-0. Didn't happen. Fumbled the ball. 83-yard touchdown run, I think either the next play or second play. And here we go. It's a one-score game all of a sudden. That's football. Now, we got obviously there's some things to fix to make sure that doesn't happen. That's football. No different. We've been in games where we're down 2 scores to start, and we find a way to crawl back. It's football, man. We play really good teams. We're going to play really good coaches. And that 2-minute drive to end that first half, we talk about winning the middle 8 a lot, which is the last 4 minutes in the second, the first 4 minutes of the third. And our team did that. We scored that touchdown drive, and our defense came out to start the second half and went 3 and out. And so proud of our guy. We won a lot of those situations today that directly correlate to winning games. One of the ones we did not was the turnover margin. But I'm proud of our guys. We won in third downs. There's a lot of stats that correlate to us winning football games, and I'm proud of our guys being resilient.
Obviously, you talked to Ahmed before you got in here. I'm not sure how much you heard, but he almost got emotional talking about how much this program has meant to him. Mm-hmm. What do guys like him? What have they meant to the program from your perspective?
Oh man, you guys are gonna get me starting crying here soon. Those 21 seniors, Ahmed being one of them. I mean, they're leaving a legacy here. We talk about legacy a lot. I talked about legacy to the team on Thursday, and that's a long-lasting impact because of your actions. And that's what these seniors are leaving. And they're not done. Their legacy is still being written. And it's not just their actions on the field. The actions that these guys have all year long, the standards they have here. No different. We have recruits on campus. I tell them, this is the standard here. And it isn't because the coaches pointed out. It's because that's player-led. That's an Ahmed Hassanin. That's a Mike Callahan. It's a Ben Dooley that will be the one that if you come in our building in a team meeting, your hood's on, not happening. You walk on that practice field, no. Players aren't going to let that happen. That's the legacy that these young men are leaving, and it's not done yet. And the impact they've had on me, the impact they've had on the freshmen here that are going to be seniors down the road, it's going to last a lifetime. And the legacy they leave here, but most important for me is, they are going to be world changers in life. And I told every single one of them on senior day, I said, God has an amazing plan for your life. Never settle for less. And I'm just so proud of the legacy they've left, and we're not done yet.
Have you shed any tears today yet?
Oh, yeah. It's been an emotional day for me, man. I love these kids, and yeah.
We've talked a lot about the workload that Ashton's getting, 37 more carries today. Just how tough does someone have to be to just take hit after hit after hit after hit like that and just keep coming back for more?
He's an absolute warrior. And I could also tell you this, after the game when I ran the locker room, he picked me up with one arm, and he still had some in the tank. I mean, he's an absolute warrior. But that isn't, Ashton Genty's built different, but that's how he trains. Come in and watch him in the training room. This man lives in the training room to get his body to be able to do this week in, week out, and that's very uncommon. there's not many people on this planet that can do what Ashton Genty does on and off the field. And he's an absolute warrior. He's the best football player in the country, and he's our team leader.
You kind of touched on it before, Spencer. 34 points, being able to fumble, settling for field goals. It sounds like you kind of feel like we're points left on that field today because of widening that margin.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to BJ's point, I mean, we're 14-0 going to score. That's why turnovers are such a huge key to winning football games. Lost the turnover there and scoring touchdowns in the red zone. Another huge stat. We settled for 2 field goals, which proud of our guys coming with points. But if that's 14 instead of 6, it's a different football game.
Is that a concern? Again,
and there he is, Spencer Danielson, meeting with the media after the game. Again, Boise State wins this one 34-18. We're going to hear from Ahmed Hassanin in a minute or two, but Boise State getting out to that 7-0 lead. The Austin Bolt touchdown, good to see that from him. 8 carries on the first drive for Genty. So as you heard Spencer Danielson talking about there, you just knew this was going to be a game early on where they weren't going to ease into this or try to save Ashton Genty in this one. He goes for 37 carries, 226 yards in this one as Boise State wins it 34-18. And I think that we talked about it, earlier with Brad and Kemp, but I thought that stretch late in the first half where Ashton Genty, if he scores, you go up 21-0. Instead, they fumble, they score on an 83-yard touchdown. It's getting a little scary there at 14-7, but I thought it was a huge play in the game. Boise State being able to come down, score with 20 seconds left in the half on that pass to Latrell Caples, I believe it was, and that puts them up 21-7 there late in the second quarter. So, again, wasn't the prettiest win Boise State's ever played. That's 3 or 4 in a row that maybe haven't had the style points, but I did think that touchdown with a minute to go was a big deal. Would you have liked to have seen Genty get it? Yes, but Boise State does score 34-18, looks a little better than 26-18 or whatever it was on the scoreboard. So I think that last touchdown was key for Boise State and helps a little bit for folks who may not have watched it. 34-18 wasn't the dominant win, but I really thought Boise State played better than the final score. I thought they stubbed themselves in the toe with a couple of the field goals in the red zone, a couple other, the fumble I mentioned from Genty. It just felt like Boise State was in complete control of that game. But the final score maybe doesn't reflect that a little bit. But overall, 34-18 is a solid win. A lot to be excited about if you're Boise State fans, and it all moves forward now to the UNLV, Colorado State. Who are you going to play in the championship, and what's that going to look like, and can they sell the game out? They've had 6 games, 6 sellouts. They set the single game average attendance record over 37,000 people today was the average attendance this season. They're breaking records in attendance left and right, but they've always had trouble for whatever reason selling out the championship game. I think 26,000 in a 36,000 stadium is the highest attendance they've had in Boise for the championship game. So we'll see what can they one more game, as I said earlier, probably the biggest game in my opinion, if not it's certainly top 2 or 3. It's one of the biggest games in the history of Boise State football when you think about what's on the line with a win in this game and how far it would fall with a loss. I don't think it's hyperbole, whatever, to say this is one of, if not the biggest game. You could make a very strong argument. This is the biggest game in the history of Boise State football coming up on Saturday against UNLV. And can they pack the stadium? Can they sell it out? I'm really excited, optimistic, curious to see what the crowd's going to look like for that championship game. Hey, a couple more great sponsors I want to thank before we hear from Ahmed Hassanin. The Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. Check them out. If you're looking for that Ashton Genty gear, well, they've got it at the Blue and Orange Store. The blueandorangestore.com is online. You can order from anywhere in the world, or you can just go to the Boise Town Square Mall there, the second floor next to Pro Image, and they've got a couple racks right there in the front. All the new NIL gear, including Ashton Genty jerseys, sweatshirts, T-shirts. They've got the clearance rack as well. So great selection, the best prices in town. Highly recommend supporting the sponsors, folks. If you're looking for some Boise State gear, head to the Blue and Orange Store and the blueandorangestore.com. The basketball team, they fell in the championship game of the Cayman Islands Classic, but come January, you can get a hot dog and a soda for $2 when the basketball team scores 70 points, and that'll probably be happening a lot come conference play. So support Jackson's, folks. Support the sponsors, and whenever Ahmed Hassanin gets a sack, which he had a couple tackles for loss, but I don't think he ended up with a sack today. When he gets a sack, you get $1. I'm checking it up here. Tackle for loss, no sack. But 91-cent coffee or fountain drink when Ahmed Hassanin gets a sack. And don't forget, 25% from every hot dog sold goes to support the Horseshoe Collective. at Boise State. So return the favor, and next time you're looking for gas, looking for some snacks, do that at Jackson's. And we're going to hear from Ahmed Hassanin in just a second here. Hey, Lean Feast, leanfeastmeridian.com. Check them out, leanfeastmeridian.com. 10,000 plus meal combinations, a lot of different options, and we appreciate Lean Feast. They feed the football team. They feed the basketball team. They're helping me. I'm thinking about 14 pounds down thanks to Lean Feast. So we're going to keep it rolling, and it's all due to Lean Feast. Check them out online, leanfeastmeridian.com. And I think we have a voicemail. I don't know if it's in there and ready to go, Jaden, but we do have a couple now. Okay. Signature Roofing, speakpipe.com/BNN. We'll get to the voicemails here in a minute. Speakpipe.com/BNN is the website if you want to leave a voicemail. And as always, Signature Roofing has stepped up, and they're donating a $100 gift card to the Blue and Orange store for the anybody that leaves a voicemail. They're going to put your name in a hat. We're going to do all these here at the same time. We'll have like 3 different drawings. Jaden reminded me we need to get all the names from the voicemails into a couple pots, and we'll draw this maybe at some point here in the next week or so. But the folks that have a voicemail in, we'll play those in a minute, and then you'll be entered to win a $100 gift card thanks to Signature Roofing. And again, Signature Roofing covering our community for more than 2 decades. Whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an inspection, a free estimate, they got you covered. Local company, been around for a while. Love this, just friendly staff. Awesome time whenever I talk to those guys and text with them. So if you're looking for a new roof, all your roofing needs, make sure you check out our roofing sponsor, Signature Roofing, online at mysignatureroofing.com. We're back on the ICCU Postgame Show. Keep getting those comments in, those thoughts in. Let's hear from, you know what, let's go ahead and play the voicemails. I'm going to switch and put these headphones on right here. We had 3 voicemails come in, and I should be able to hopefully hear the voicemails now. Let's play our voicemails, and we appreciate everybody that's put those in. If you have a voicemail, again, speakpipe.com/BNN, you can put that in. And let's hear first from Josh on the Signature Roofing voicemail line. Josh, what do you got?
BJ and BNN, we did what we needed to do. Madson, clutch when we needed him. Ashton Jeanty, the same as he always was. The secondary still giving up large chunks of plays on the exact same route, but a win is a win. And now we are 1 win away from most likely a bye in the college football playoff. This is big time. Be there next week for the biggest game in Boise State history. Go Broncos. BJ and BNN, we did what we needed to do. Madson, clutch when we needed him.
All right, there's Josh. Sorry, my headphones aren't working for some reason. I couldn't hear the return. Oh, this needs to be on this side over here to hear it back, I think. Maybe I'll hear the next one. But Josh talking about the biggest game in school history. I heard the end of it there. That's true. Another question about the DBs. I know Grant. Maybe we can play Grant and then talk about both of those. The DBs, the pass defense certainly left a little bit to be desired out there. Let's hear from Grant here on the Signature Roofing voicemail line. Grant.
Hey, BJ, Grant here. 2 things for you. First off, I thought Ashton Genty had a good week this week. Could have been nice if he could have gotten 1 more touchdown. Though I think Hunter still is ahead in the Heisman race due to his performance this week. Second thing is I would like your take on how the DBs played this week. I think Mario McCoy played pretty well. The other ones were kind of iffy. Hey.
All right, there we go. Appreciate Grant for the question, asking about the defensive backs. Yeah, I thought McCoy was okay. Had a nice pass break up there at the end of the game. But overall, yeah, if you want to look for one, weak link on the defensive side, pick 6 for Colorado State, I guess. Utah State got it. It's 30 to 13. Utah 30-13. Utah State has taken the lead, so it looks like we're closing in on UNLV, by the way, coming to the blue next week. That'll be a tough loss there for Colorado State when they had a chance to put the pressure on UNLV tomorrow night. But the DBs, yeah, I mean, it's been a season-long story. It has not been good. We've talked about it. It hasn't been good. I mean, the passing yards today, 226. Boise State has statistically one of the worst pass defenses, not only in the Mountain West, but in the entire country. It has not been good. The stats have been good. I'm not here to call for somebody's job. We'll see what happens after the season, but at some point, sometimes changes have to be made if it's not up to the right level. So we'll see what Spencer Danielson thinks. We don't know how much of it is scheme, how much of it is talent, how much of it is coaching. A lot of different things come into play when you're talking about the defensive backs, but it's been a struggle. The pass defense, it felt like when Oregon State got that first down, they just got rolling a little bit with some passing plays, and you're like, uh-oh, they're going to get rolling here. And I thought they had some really extended passing plays from them. And I know the overall numbers, 226, not terrible. But Ricky White coming to town next week. UNLV, that dual threat quarterback there. Malik Hodge-Williams and that passing attack. I mean, McCoy did a great job against Ricky White earlier in the season. I'm not sure you feel quite as confident about it going the same way again with one of the best receivers in America and Ricky White coming to the Blue next week. So that is a little scary when you think about the passing attack going into next week. We do have one more voicemail, the Signature Roofing voicemail line. Let's hear from Randy. Randy, what do you got for us?
Hey, BJ, congratulations to Boise State on a great 11-1 regular season. That's a great accomplishment for them. Now we just need to finish it off in the championship game, most likely against UNLV next week. Once again, Ashton Jeanty proved the reason why he's the best running back in the nation this year with over 200 yards rushing. Our offense was pretty smooth throughout the game. There were some ups and downs, but overall they had a great performance. Defense, we bend, but we didn't break very much today, so that was good to see. Overall, we need to clean things up on offense and defense in the championship game. UNLV is going to be a tough test, so it'll be great to see what we can do next week.
There he is, Randy. Appreciate the voicemail from Randy there, and yeah, got to clean it up. Yeah, I do agree with Kent and Brad. This one looked a little better than the previous couple of weeks. It felt like a much bigger margin. You see the final score 34-18, but you're like, it did feel like the Boise State was much more in control of the game than that final score may have said. So overall, was it perfect? No, but guess what? Tulane, they would have loved to have a 16-point win at home last night. They lost to Memphis, so you take it, and that's a nice feeling, 11-1 regular season going into the championship game next week. Ahmed Hassanin, let's hear. Ryan Skeen, by the way, says, got my tickets for next week. Weren't many left when I looked. He has his tickets. Preston saying, great win. Tough Genty had a few runs and touchdowns called back for holding. Yeah, there was multiple, 25-yard runs, I think, that Genty had pulled back because of holding. So it is what it is. The refs weren't out to get him or Boise State. They just thought they saw a penalty that obviously you can debate was or wasn't there. Who knows? But Ahmed Hassanin, he had a very solid game for Boise State in this one. The defense, again, holding them to 18 points. He had 3 tackles, including that big tackle for loss there as well. Big swing in the game when he had a big tackle for loss there at one point, and being a senior leader. And he almost gets emotional here talking just about senior day and what this all means to him. Let's hear from Ahmed Hassanin, the defensive captain for Boise State after the 34-18 win over Oregon State.
How does it feel just to get through the regular season 11-1 and be one game now short of your goals?
Man, it feels amazing. First and foremost, I want to glorify Jesus Christ. He's my Lord and Savior. Without him, this team won't be the same. So he did it all for us. So I want to glorify him and give him all the praise first and foremost. But to get back to your question, man, it feels amazing. It feels amazing. We really work hard in practice, in meetings. Man, we don't take any days for granted. And when you play Boise State, it's like you're gonna get everybody's best. Like Oregon State, that's the best they ever played. We watched them on film. Last game was the same. Wyoming was the best game they ever played. So we're gonna get everybody's best. But what's good about us that we really find a way to win, and that's what great teams do. And we stick together when it's rough. So.
What does that mean? It hasn't been the prettiest the last couple of weeks, but yet we saw Tulane lose last night. Like you guys are still finding ways to win, even if it's not always the prettiest. And yet now here you are, playing for the championship next week.
Absolutely. I mean, it's hard to win in November. It's really hard to win in November. I mean, it's competition month. Everybody you see across the country are losing right now. But great teams stay together. Great teams just press through any hard stuff, and we just find a way to win. I mean, that's what great teams do, and this is an elite team. And I'm so happy, I'm so glad and grateful just to be a part of this. I mean, I love this team so much. It means this is my family, besides Corey and my dad back at home. This is my family, and I couldn't do it without them, so I'm really grateful.
You mentioned getting team's best every week, but, you guys have to be at your best every week. And just how much pressure, or just what's the pressure like just that every week that have to be at your best every week, and then the next week you have to be at your best, and then so on and so on.
Yeah, I mean, when you play Boise State, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like you're going to get everybody's best. I mean, every game is a rivalry game. Everybody wants to beat Boise State on the blue. Everybody wants to beat Boise State on their home. So when you play games like that, you're going to get everybody's best. And again, like great teams just stick together, even when things are not going right. I mean, look at the past few weeks. Things didn't go right for us sometimes, but we found a way and we won the games.
Was this week in terms of, I mean, still a tough game, but you were playing from ahead the whole game. You didn't have to play from behind at all.
I mean, it's awesome. It's just playing ahead and knowing what we need to do on defense and just responding. I mean, if something bad happens, just putting the fire out. Coach always say, like, put the fire out. As a defensive player, you're always responding for what's happening. So it's huge for us. It's nice to play ahead of the sticks and not have to be like down low and now we have to respond. Now it's just you have to keep the momentum. You have to keep the offense out there. You score, defense to get a stop. So it was huge, and then just staying together and winning these type of games, it's huge.
Obviously, you've got one more home game next week at least, but just sort of seeing you daying everything around it, just any emotions there? How are you feeling?
Man, I can't even start with how much this program gave to me and how much Coach D, Jabril, Coach Shins taught me, not just as a football player, as a man, and how to lead, how to treat people the right way, how to have respect for other people, how to get the job done when the job needs to be done. This program changed my life. I mean, I'm going to start crying. I don't want to. But I knew that we had one more game on a home game, so that's why it wasn't that emotional. I wanted to we have another home game. Let's go win. So it wasn't as emotional, but it's definitely a part of me is just like, damn. I mean, if we played the championship away, then that would have been my last home game. And I kind of talked to the defense. I was like, hey man, don't take these moments for granted. I mean, just think if this was our last home game, what type of passion would you give if this was our last home game? And I'm really grateful that we have one more and time to go get that ring.
Just what can you say, because the day after Thanksgiving, not just the sellouts, but even the student section is sold out. You think a lot of kids would be on break just having that kind of support even on a morning like today?
It's huge. Bronco Nation's is like helping us big time. I remember like the first couple of drives, they're just false starting the whole time. I mean, that's huge. That puts them behind the stakes and we get 3 and out. It's huge. That's the man. I love you too.
Being in the trenches, obviously you're involved in contact on every play, but you look at Ashton, he's the focal point of that contact on 37 plays tonight. Just how much of a toll does that take on a body, and just how impressive is it what he does at just taking hit after hit after hit after hit?
Man, he's a warrior. Like, just looking at him gives me motivation. Is it like people really plan for him? People really like want to stop his game. And he still finds a way to respond. He still finds a way to push his teammates. He still finds a way to motivate the defense. So that's huge, man. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better teammate than Ashton. I mean, he's huge for me. Like, I just love him as a teammate, and I love what he's doing out there. But as a teammate, just looking at him just gave me motivation and give me the drive to go and go and go and go. So I'm really grateful for him. I mean, he's doing stuff that nobody like ever done. I mean, he's a great teammate, man. I mean, he deserves all the praise. He deserves all love. And first and foremost, when he gets that, he just prays it to God, and that's the big part too, because he gives all the glory to Jesus Christ. So
you mentioned he motivates the defense. After he breaks off one of those long runs or something, does he come over to the side and say, "Okay, your turn now"?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Every drive. I mean, he comes up to me and just dabs me up before the game, after the game. I kind of walk with him, like the captains have to do the flip, and we motivate each other and be like, "Hey, I got your back, you got my back. Let's go get the win." So that's huge. And just look at him, and he'll do whatever it takes to win the football game. Even if playing in a 9-man box, he will do it. And I never heard any time he complaining, pointing fingers, none of that. He's one of the best teammates I ever had.
It's the day after Thanksgiving, early kickoff, short week. There were a lot of built-in potential excuses for you guys not to start fast. But on defense, I think Oregon State had their first down until like 12 minutes to go in the second quarter. So what allowed you guys to start so effectively on the defensive side of the ball and get off the field?
Yeah, I mean, just staying together. I mean, just having that swag back and having that be like, okay, we're going to get it done. I mean, if you look, Bronco Nation is just bringing out the noise, man. I mean, you're looking, they can't get this count right, and they jump off sides like twice. So that's huge for us. That put them behind the stakes, and that's how we win games. I mean, fans are like huge for us. So all thanks to Bronco Nation, the coaches making huge calls. I mean, everybody that executing their job, everybody doing 111 for the team and not just the individuals. I mean, you play the demons like that, we play collectively, it's huge. You win games.
How nice was it having Andrew Simpson back in the lineup behind you?
What's up?
How nice was it having Andrew Simpson back in the lineup behind you?
Huge. I mean, he's a great player and a great teammate, and man, I'm grateful to have him back, and he's back 100%, so I'm really grateful for that.
Taking this 1 week at a time every week to now be literally at the last week here. It's a championship game and a chance to win it and get to the playoff and get all your goals. I mean, what's the feeling going into this week?
I mean, just like every week, what's the most important game? Because the next one. That's Coach D say that all the time. What's the most important game? It's the next one. And now the job is not finished. Let's finish the job. I mean, our goal here is to win a Mountain West championship with academic excellence and a bowl game. So let's go accomplish that.
Does postseason football have a bit of a different feel to it?
Say that again?
Does postseason football have a bit of a different feel to it?
I mean, it's cool. It's amazing that what we're doing here, but it's always what's the next one. What's the most important game is the next game. And I'm not really trying to focus on the playoffs or focus on that. It's what's the most important game. It's the championship game. So let's go win. Let's go. Let's go. I'm ready to go right now. I mean, let's go play.
Championship game. Are you guys gonna be I'm sure.
There he is, Ahmed Hassanin, speaking with the media. And again, we only played a portion of these interviews. If you want to go back and hear all 20 minutes of Spencer Danielson, all of the 11 minutes with Ahmed Hassanin, there was some of Madson we didn't play as well. You can go back on our YouTube channel after the show and watch the full interviews with all those guys. We have been here at the James Kitchen and Bar. Always a great time to come get some food, some drinks, pregame, postgame, happy hour. They got the Ashton Jeanty sandwich as part of the sandwich bar during the day. They got happy hour, and now they have the extended covered patio. So plenty of room, and always a great time when you come down here to the James. So appreciate Barry for taking care of us, and hope you guys will make the James a part of your game day or just any day you're looking to have a cocktail or a bite to eat at some point down here by Albertsons Stadium. We will be back with the pregame show on Friday here at the James Kitchen and Bar. We will be live, still working out the timing of that, probably 4 o'clock or so. There's a small chance we could be inside the stadium for the pregame show, but I think as of now, we're planning on being here at the James on Friday, for that. So pregame, postgame should be a lot of fun on Friday. We got all week to break it down, too. We got Monday morning, Mike Prater and I at 9 a.m. We got Spencer Danielson's press conference. We got Jay Tuss. We got Brad Bedell on Wednesday. So got the basketball game sprinkled in Tuesday night, but a lot of football coverage this week. And obviously, we'll get you set for Friday at 6 o'clock. Don't think it's crazy to say it. One of the, if not the biggest game in the history of the Boise State football program on Friday at 6 o'clock with a chance to earn a bye into the Fiesta Bowl or one of the major bowls, likely the Fiesta Bowl on the line. So going to be a fun week. Probably be one of those weeks that feel like it's taken forever to get to Friday, but buy your tickets, call off work now, tailgate, have a good time, get the stadium rocking, and it should be a lot of fun on Friday night in the Mountain West Championship game. National television, 6 o'clock Mountain Time on Fox. And again, we'll have pregame, postgame at BroncoNationNews.com. We'll have coverage all week, as I said. I'm going to go home and write a story. We'll get that posted. Nathan Carroll is going to have his recap as well, looking at some of the analytics and the numbers. We'll get that posted in the morning. And then all the interviews, highlights, everything. If you missed any of it, that'll be up on the YouTube channel and up at BroncoNationNews.com as well. Something smells really good. Whatever just walked by. Always great food here at the James Kitchen and Bar, and something smells tremendous. Doesn't help that I'm hungry here at 4:30 on a Friday. So hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you're having a good Black Friday to this point. And obviously for Boise State, if you're watching this, that means you are after a 34-18 win for Boise State. Record viewership today. We appreciate all you guys for checking us out. We appreciate Brad and Kent. Thanks to Jaden Finch for getting us on the air and his tremendous work with the highlights. Our man Ethan getting some good photos that will get posted at BroncoNationNews.com as well. But Again, 95-minute show in the books, and it was free thanks to all of our sponsors for you guys watching on YouTube. So if you get a chance, support the sponsors, whether it's eating at Taco Bell or Lean Feast or coming down here to the James, switching your bank over to ICCU, rowpaint.com, all of our sponsors, Jackson's. I know I'm missing some, but I told you about them all earlier in the show. We're very appreciative and thankful to Blue and Orange Store and everybody that makes this show possible. So if you get a chance, support the sponsors and subscribe if you can. $50 BNN 50 deal gets you that 1-year subscription for just $50 at BroncoNationNews.com. And man, it's going to be an exciting week. If there was ever a time to dive in, I know Mike Prater's working on a column as well for tomorrow. He'll have a column in the week on Ashton Genty's season from Tyler Crow's perspective. So Prater's working on a couple columns. I got a couple things in the works. A lot of great exclusive content coming. This is the perfect time as we get set for the championship game to dive in to a 1-year subscription to BroncoNationNews.com. Just $50 using that promo code BNN50 deal. And as always, if you can't afford that, I totally get it, but at least give us a subscribe here on our YouTube channel, on Facebook, on X, and make sure you retweet, share our videos, and all that good stuff. Going to be a heck of a week. Monster game, likely against UNLV, but we'll find out for sure tomorrow night. Maybe the biggest game in the history of Boise State football coming up a week from almost right now, next Friday here at Albertsons Stadium. And we got 7 days to get you set at Bronco Nation News and BroncoNationNews.com. Thanks for watching the postgame show. Go to BroncoNationNews.com for more. We will talk to you guys later, live from the James at Kitchen and Bar. Boise State wins it 34-18. We'll talk to you guys Monday morning with Mike Prater at 9 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. This is Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.
Bronco Nation News is presented by rowpaint.com, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, by Lithia Ford, The Blue and Orange Store, Western Collective, by Jackson's, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Bauscher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, by Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and by Timberstone Golf Course.